Here at New Community, we were so blessed in that we had that person who wanted to champion the process come to us as a leadership and say, we want to do this. And the blessing of that is enormous in that that person was already motivated and already believed in it, already driven.
As the champion for this process, I really played the role of coach and cheerleader for the process.
He was the one who not only came to the leadership really desiring this and believing in this, but he also went to the mentors with that same attitude and that same drive. And moments when I'm convinced that many of these mentors would have quit during the process. He was the guy who kept talking with them, who kept encouraging them, who helped them to believe that God was able to do that within them. I would look for somebody who had a really strong level of spiritual maturity, that they understood what spiritual maturity genuinely looks like. I would look for somebody who, like our mentors, had a very, very humble heart. I would look for somebody who wanted to be a team player in this, wanted to defer all the possible glory to other people, because that's really what we're wanting our mentors to do too. What the champion really is in so many ways is that first mentor to the mentors. They're demonstrating what it looks like to do the process.
Our church leadership was asked to select men from the church that they felt would be appropriate Christian mentors for other men in our church.
We received a request from Fred for some men who would be the most likely, most ready, people that God had prepared within New Community. We narrowed that down to about 12 men who we then passed on to Fred and allowed him to start working with them.
The process started by having Pastor Dave send a letter to all of the mentor candidates. Each of those candidates was asked to come to a calling meeting. That meeting was held. At that time, we explained to them what the process would be, gave them the opportunity to go home, speak with their wives, pray about it, and shortly after that, we contacted them to be sure whether they wanted to continue or not. Pastor Dave's role in this was incredibly important. It didn't cost him a lot of time, but the time that he gave to the process was extremely crucial because he was able to talk to the mentors and the mentees when that time came.
There was a spot where I stepped in and spoke with those men and really shared my heart with them. And the most important thing that I feel like happened in that process was for me to reveal where mentors had impacted my life in a big way. And so we looked at Scripture and we looked at the power of what Scripture has to say. And then I just really went through and identified some characteristics that are in my life right now, and the fact that I could attach different men's names to those characteristics because I knew that they had poured into me and I could see the result of them pouring into me. I found that I had to be willing to expend some of my credibility with those guys and be very transparent with those men so that they understood what it was that we were hoping for within them. There were a few places along the way in the selection process, in communicating that to those guys, that they needed to know that I and the rest of the leadership of the church believed in this and that we were the ones behind this, hoping for this and praying for them and wanting them to be a part of it.
Once the mentor said yes, we began the equipping season. The equipping season consists of 3 months of 2 sessions per month for 6 sessions total. The mentors were given the opportunity to really see what God had done in their life and to use the tools that radical mentoring has to be able to build the process by which they were going to mentor other men.
What was unique is the way that it prepared our mentors. They had a tool that they could use to believe that too, and believe that they could be a part of that. And then for our mentees to take a hold of that and see their excitement in these men. But that all happens because the leadership believes that it's possible and believes that it's a good thing.
The equipping season was important because the men who the church selected as mentors had a lot to give, but didn't feel empowered to be able to do that. The world had kind of convinced them that they didn't have much to give. And so the equipping season really brought them through the process of understanding what they do have to give and giving them an excitement to pour into men through what Christ has done in their lives.
I was not prepared for where this was going to lead. At the end of that equipping season, I felt more confident, still nervous, but more confident and more apt, like I had tools. Now I know how to use these tools, but I'm going to have to get my hands dirty and figure them out.
To watch God's blessing of the men and their wives and their families through this process has been truly incredible.
The biggest challenge I think that we face is letting them lead it and being the person that comes alongside of them, walks with them in it, challenges them, holds them up, prays for them. What I did was very small, but it tended to be very crucial and it tended to be very timely. What was unique for us is the way that it impacted our church. It's awesome and it's awe-inspiring to look at God and to see those things, but to see them happen in people that you really care about is a pretty cool thing to watch.